Your slogan is "Make Hardy Great Again." What are your future plans for as being the new mayor of Hardy?
Well, I'd like to see Hardy come back around to the heritage of Hardy, and in doing so, I would like to also modernize it. And some of our plans are to have some events in the city that are related to the heritage of Hardy. For instance, the river, Spring River, is one of the biggest, nicest things we have going for us down there, and we're sitting right there on it, but we're not utilizing it as much as we could. And I feel like some events that involve the river, such as canoe races, such as children's events on the river, and fishing tournaments and things of that sort, and bringing people together, doing something that everybody enjoys. Not trying to do something that's going to generate so much money as it is just to get the people to come out and enjoy themselves. Flea markets is a big thing nowadays, auctions, and some events on the river banks, such as lawnmower races. Excuse me, lawnmower races is something that a lot of people can relate to in this community. It's not a real dangerous sport, but it's something everybody enjoys. And I feel like the railroad sitting there is just a good backdrop, and having the railroad people involved will help the whole community. And I feel like it will make Hardy well known again. We've got antique stores, with our flea markets, there's all kinds of the Arkansas heritage and the local community heritage that I think that the people will come down here to see those things and participate in it. And I think it will actually keeping a calm between the people and keeping these events going will make it great again. I really do. I think, and so far, what I've seen in the almost a month, I've been real impressed with how the people have come together and the volunteers that have come in and offered to come and help. And I like volunteers. And I think the volunteers, if you can show they're appreciated and let them do something, that they'll be back. And I think then when my tenure's done, that it'll continue to go that way. Everybody working together, and that's what I mean when I said make it great again. Make it work for itself. Okay, and your question was?
How do you feel about the role as the mayor?
As a mayor? Well, it's something that I have worked with for several years, working as the chief of police in downtown Hardy. I've seen different mayors come and go, and I've seen a lot of good things happen. And it actually looked easier than what it is. I have found out the administrative end of it, the financial situation in any entity, of course, is going to be overwhelming. And this was, to me, to get in there and try to figure out how to make ends meet with what money you have to work with. And it's just really not as simple as it looked from the outside. And I've learned there's a lot of things as a role of mayor you can't delegate to someone else. You have to take care of it. And that's a learning process for me. I'm still doing that because I've always been employed. I've not been the employer, other than the law enforcement field, which I've had a lot of experience in. But I could go and request the money for a police car or a wage increase or what have you. But now I've got to sit down and figure out if we can do that, how we can do it, and make it work. So the role of mayor is totally a different field for me, but I'm learning, and I've got a lot of good people around me, or new city council. Most of them are new. A lot of them are learning with me, and that makes it a little better too, because we all got to learn together, and I just want to make sure everybody gets along. We can have difference of opinion and still sit down and have a cup of coffee the next morning. And that's the experience I'm getting with this group we're at right now.
What made you decide to run as mayor?
I've seen some things going on in the community that I didn't feel like was positive, okay? Such as the events, morale around the people. Everybody's bickering. Everybody wants it to be their way. Nobody wants to give. And I've seen a lot of that in downtown Hardy. And of course, being there so many years, I've seen this come and go and similar things happen. But it looked to me like it was going backwards instead of forward. So I felt like I would come out of retirement for a few years and maybe turn things around and get it back the way that I feel like the people want it. And as the election went by, as the vote turned out, I'm very satisfied that people do want to change. They want to see things different. And to bring calm and peace to the community is the first way to do that, in my opinion. And I felt like the only way I could do it was to run for mayor.
There's been a lot of controversy in Hardy over the last few years. Do you see that dying down?
Yes, I do. I've already seen a lot of that calming already, and I want to be instrumental in making that happen. Another reason that I'm in this position, that I want everybody to get along, and I very strongly want to see that happen. And if I feel like if I can't do that, I have actually failed. So I'm going to work hard at that, to try to keep everybody working together and keep peace in the community and bring our police department, our fire department back up to a standard that everybody can be proud of. 24-hour a day service is extremely important, and as a career I have led my entire life, I know how important that is. Some people, they don't realize it costs a lot of money to get this done, but I feel like we can arrange it, and we have already come up with a working budget that will probably be efficient for the rest of the year. But it was hard to do because we had to come up with so much more money to cover the voids that we had, such as we didn't have 24-hour day coverage. And when our fire departments respond, you got to have enough manpower out there. And to have the manpower, you have to use volunteers. And we had the first meeting they had, there was approximately 30-some people showed up wanting to offer their services. And that, to me, showed that the community is coming together.
You have a whole new city council. How is that going so far?
So far, it's doing pretty good. I'm real pleased with all of them. Everybody's, of course, got opinions, and these people are not coming out there and just throwing it out there and said, I want this done. They're all coming up, and we're working together. We sat at the table. We've had a couple of working meetings, and this council is extremely like I am. They want to see peace back in the community, and they're not trying to push anything down anybody's throat. Each and every one of them have input into the meeting and what their goal is to help the area, not only in their wards, but the entire city. And I've really seen that come out in the meetings. These people are saying, they live in this part of town, and that's the ward they was elected to, and they want to help their people. And they're bringing up all kinds of suggestions, not just for events that we can have, but repairs that can be made in some of our streets and our trimming, and making the area more attractive to other people. And they've just really been good, outstanding.
What was it like being the chief of police?
I started law enforcement field many years ago, and when I become chief of police in Hardy, and actually it was January of 1989, and it's a life. It's not just a job. In law enforcement field, the money's not real good, but it's enough to raise your family and get by with. But you have to be dedicated to your community, and to be a police officer, period, whether you're the chief or not. Everybody needs or does carry the same load. If your heart's not into it, you won't make a good policeman. You got to be professional, but you also have to be polite. Then you have to be firm. And again, it's like I said, it's a life. It's not just a job. And each and every law enforcement officer is a brotherhood, and they have to work together, whether it be whatever field of law enforcement they're in, whether it be in the juvenile division, the adults, and a lot of times you work with all categories in one day, and you have to be able to shift gears into that. And as a police officer, I learned to do that many years ago, and I enjoyed the work. I really did. When I chose to retire, there's a lot of things I wanted to do. My hobbies are auto mechanics and horse. I like to ride horses and mess with them. So I decided to get out of law enforcement, and at that time is when I decided I might wait a few years and come back and run for mayor. So this wasn't a decision just made out of the blue because I seen things going downhill. I felt like it's something, the experiences that I've had over the years, that I could bring back to the community and help everybody. And that's my goal, to help everybody in the community, not just down in the city, but all the surrounding, because whether you live in the city or not, you trade there. People buy gas, buy groceries, come shopping for antiques, and one thing and another. And I just felt like I could bring something back to the city that they give me. I raised my family here, and I'm proud to say I'm from Hardy, Arkansas.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.